In today's video, we are going to be looking at CAPITEC Bursary program for 2026 financial year. Obviously, it's for candidates who wish to be funded by CAPITEC next year. As we always do, we'll need to first understand who is CAPITEC. Because if you want to take a bursary from any institution, the institution will give you a binding clause which states that when you are done with your degree or with your honors, you need to work with them to pay back for the period they have funded you. For that reason, it is very important for you to understand the nature of the institution you're going to take the bursary from or you're going to apply for, and then make a decision whether you want to work with that company. Because if you feel like you would not want to work with CAPITEC in future, there's absolutely no reason for you to even apply for their bursary. Now, let's just unpack and understand who is CAPITEC, what do they do, and why are they exceptional from other banks. CAPITEC Bank is a South African retail bank focused on providing accessible and affordable banking service through innovative technology. It is the largest bank in South Africa by customer numbers. CAPITEC offers a range of services, including personal and business banking, loans, credit cards, insurance, and they're emphasizing in simplicity, affordability, and accessibility. Now, here's a more breakdown about CAPITEC. When we're looking at the retail bank focus, CAPITEC primarily serves individual consumers with transactional banking services, savings accounts, and various loan products. They are technological driven. The bank leverages technology to streamline banking processes and offer convenient, personalized service, including online and mobile banking platforms. We all know that CAPITEC services are affordable. CAPITEC aims to provide customer-effective banking solution, often highlighting lower fees and transparent pricing compared to traditional banking. So if we're looking at CAPITEC in terms of their pricing model, they are way cheaper compared to other banks. So that's how they are standing out compared to other banks. Then we're looking at accessibility. They also accessibility in different regions. That means in the rural areas as well as urban areas, you will be able to find CAPITEC branch. So CAPITEC strives to make banking accessible to a wide range of South Africans by emphasizing ease of use and convenience through its digital platform and branch networks. So if you're looking at their digital platform, which is obviously the app, you see that it is very easy and convenient to use. And also, as I've already said, that CAPITEC you will be able to find in different areas where you like to find the bank. And then in terms of the products and service offering, again, we'll be mentioning what offers they're doing. Yes, I have already stated, but I want to emphasize and broaden the service that they are offering. CAPITEC offers a various financial products, including the personal and business accounts. So that means to say they are able to help me as an individual and yourself, as well as the business who want to have their own business account. They also offer the business accounts. So business account at CAPITEC is pretty much new, not very new, but it's new compared to when they started with their personal accounts. They offer the credit cards and loans. So they are personal loans as well as credit facility that they offer to the individuals, that is the bank, as well as myself or yourself. They offer obviously savings as well as investment options. If you have additional money that you'd like to save or invest, you are able to do that through your CAPITEC accounts. And moreover, they also offer insurance products, which is life cover and the funeral cover. And also the credit life. So the credit life, it's generally the insurance that you get cover for if you have debt, and then it is to ensure if you were to die in future, your debt will be able to be cleared. And then obviously we know that they have app which enables you to interact online with the bank, which is obviously the nice thing. And then obviously you are paying your debts. If you have debts through debit order or any other payment solution, they also provide that service or solutions to you. So what are the key differences of CAPITEC when compared to other banks? CAPITEC emphasizes its focus on simplicity, affordability, and personalized service using technology to enhance the banking experience to its clients. Now that I have explained what Capitec does, I believe that you will love to work with a bank in future when you are done with your degree. Now let's just look at the what offers does Capitec have when it comes to bursaries, what are the requirements, and also what are the supporting documents that you need to provide to them should you wish to apply for their bursary program. So Capitec is inviting students to apply for their external bursary for the 2026 academic year. Bursaries will be awarded to undergraduates and honor studies in the field that are critical to the future of banking and financial services. So at NQF 7 or higher. So it including the following fields. Actuarial science, they will need you because of the reason that they are providing insurance. And we know that actuarial science expertise are needed mainly in the insurance areas. Computer science, as I've already stated, that the main focus of Capitec is on using technology to enhance banking experience. Therefore, they really do need people who are doing computer science, digital marketing, economics, finance, information system, mathematics, quantitative management, and statistics. So these are the kind of degrees or qualification that Capitec is willing to fund for the candidates who will be already pursuing the status. So where does the BCom accounting enter or BCom? It enter under finance. Obviously, if you're pursuing the BCom accounting, they will also fund you status, provided that you obviously meet the minimum requirements. Now, let us look further. More about the Capitec Bursary Program, the expense covered, the renewal, the workback obligation, and selection. I've already stated that you're going to have to work for Capitec if you decide that you get or you use the Capitec Bursary. And it's for that reason I gave you the background about the company so that you have a clue whether you want to or you don't want to work with that company. And also, if you get a bursary, you might be provided for a year and then they will need to look at your academic progress, and then the following year they decide whether they want to fund you further or they don't want to fund you further because you are not performing well academically. Now let us see what Capitec is saying. The bursary will provide a cover for the following expense is the registration fees, tuition fees, textbook, accommodation, as well as the stipends. So generally, this is what you need when you go to the varsity. You need a place to stay, you need a tuition fee, you need textbooks, as well as the money to keep you running during the months. Bursaries are awarded for 1 year and renewable annual based on academic performance, students' engagements, and sponsor budgets. Right. After graduation, students will be required to work for Capitec with the equal direction of the funding received. This will allow students to gain workplace readiness skills to help transition into the working world. So what is the nice thing about having the bursary is that you know when you're done with your studies, you have work waiting for you. You don't have to go to the market and apply or look for the job, but you have work that is already waiting for you to start on working. Candidates will be conducted within 3 months of the closing date. If you do not receive any feedback by this time, please consider application unsuccessful. Candidates will be required to undergo a screening, shortlisting, interview, psychometric assessment as part of the selection program. So the selection program will then cover the interview as well as psychometric test. So you need to be ready to go for Capitec interview as well as to do psychometric test that will be part of the selection program in order for you to get the bursary program. Now we're looking at eligibility requirements for the Capitec bursary. Applicants must satisfy the following minimum criteria before applying for the bursary. Please note that failure to satisfy all the requirements will lead to your qualification not being considered. So now when Capitec is making a selection, they will consider the requirements they have put in place. So if you don't meet the requirements, unfortunately, you might not be able to be selected for the bursary program. You must be a South African citizen. What does that mean? You need to be an SA citizen, you need to have SA ID, and you should not be a citizen of other neighboring country or even overseas country. You must be currently in matric or have completed matric. So it's either that you are doing matric, you can apply for the bursary for next year, or rather you have completed matric. You must be studying or intend on studying full-time towards NQF Level 7 qualification. That is your bachelor's degree or honors. Bursary does not cover N4, N5, and N6 or higher certificates or diploma, right? Master's or doctorate students. So what you need to understand is that they are covering the NQF Level 7 as well as NQF Level 8. However, the Masters and PhD, they do not cover, neither do they cover N4 to N6. So you need to be a candidate that is going to enroll for N7 or N6 for you to be eligible to be selected by CAPITEC for their bursary program. You must be registered to study at the DHET SHE registered tertiary institution, that is university, college, or private college. The bursary does not cover TVET, community college, graduate or business school, or distance learning students, for example, UNISA. So the bursary does not cover your TVET as well as the part-time schools like your UNISA. So you need to be a full-time student or rather studying at university, for example, like your University of KwaZulu-Natal, your UCT, or any other universities that are full-time and are providing NQF Level 7 and NQF Level 8. So what is important in terms of you passing? You must achieve a bachelor's pass with a minimum average of 65% in matric, right? So you need to ensure that your minimum pass or your average at 65% and above in matric. You must achieve a minimum average of 65% for the latest full academic years, 24 and 2025 so far, if currently studying. So what does that mean? If you're in varsity and you are already doing your first year and you want to get the bursary from CAPITEC, you need to have 65% average for the academic year. If you're in matric, you need an average of 65% and above. I always say it is encouraged that you get even more because there will be more people applying for the position. And if you have higher marks and also you meet all the minimum requirements, you stand a better chance compared to other competing candidates. And the preference will be given to students on track to finish their qualification in the minimum time required, not N+1 or higher, and student in line with the sponsor's transformation and employment equity objectives and requirements. Now let us look at in terms of how they need to apply for CAPITEC bursary. You need to submit a clear copies of the following supporting documents along with your online application. The submission of this document is compulsory. If any items are missing, your application may be disqualified. So the application is important for you to understand. It is an online application. You need to apply online and you will need the following documents. You need your certified copy of ID document. It need to be certified document. So grade 11 final support or grade 12 latest term 2 school report with school stamp is currently if you are currently in matric. So you need your grade 11 as well as your June results in order to apply. Matric certificates if completed matric. So if you already have completed matric, that means you are either at home or you are doing your first year, you will need your matric certificate. Latest June 2025 financial academic transcripts. If currently studying, that means you are in university, you need to provide your academic record for June. 2025 official schools fee statements. Your latest lease agreement if leaving off campus accommodation. full tertiary academic record for all years of tertiary studies or police affidavit stating why the student was not schooling. You need your parents or guardian ID documents or death certificate if unfortunately your parents are no longer alive. You need your parents' guidance or guardian proof of household income, that is your payslip. Then funding confirmation contracts later of receiving NSFAS funding, police affidavit if never received NSFAS funding. So what does that mean? If you're receiving NSFAS and you want to switch to the bursary, CAPITEC Bursary, then you need to provide them that you are currently using NSFAS, and then you need to give them the letter from NSFAS. Then funding confirmation contracts letter of offer if receiving another bursary. So if you're receiving another bursary, you also need to provide them the bursary. And then you need to print this content form, sign and complete it by parents or legal guardians, and the certified ID copy if you're under 18, which I believe most of you are under 18. Department of Labor Employment Equity form and a diagnostic letter from doctor if disabled. If it happens that you are disabled, then you will need the following information that is required. Now, let us look at the closing dates for the CAPITEC Bursary. The closing date is 31 July 2025, and it will be at 2 a.m. Any application submitted after this date, unfortunately, will not be considered by CAPITEC. That takes us to the end of the information about the CAPITEC Bursary. Thank you so much for listening up until this far. I wish you all the best in your 2025 academic year as you prepare yourself for your trial. And goodbye.